Movies are coming back, but let's talk about the best movies from a year that we can't get back, Dave, and that's the 2020, or I guess 2021 Oscars.
Mhm.
Looking at the movies from 2020 and into 2021, uh, we've talked a lot about the Oscars, as not predicting the nominations, reaction to the nominations. Now we're predicting the winners, and I think as you look through the categories, you feel pretty certain about a few of these. Like you kind of feel like some of these categories are wrapped up, and then there's some that maybe are a little more up for grabs. So why don't we start with some of the lesser profile categories down below? Let's start with best international film. In talking about this, so this Sunday, is there a film that you think is definitely going to win Best International Film, Dave?
Best international film seems clearly going
Yeah.
to another round from
Mads.
Denmark. Of course, a movie we liked came out in
Yeah.
December on VOD, starring Mads Mikkelsen, also known as Druk in Denmark. And the reason we're so certain is because Thomas Vinterberg surprisingly was nominated for Best Director,
Yeah.
the only one in this category to earn such a distinction. Therefore, Transitive Property, another round, is your Best International Feature Film winner. And I think a just one.
Mhm.
Um, Probably the most important thing to take note of here is Minari is not nominated here because Minari is an American film that just so happens to be in a foreign language, Korean. Other award shows nominate based on the language, not the nationality of the film. So Minari has won, I guess, different kinds of categories like this earlier in the year, but of course that's not the case here. And I mean, it's nominated in terms of what it's nominated against. Real quick, was it K Vadas Ida? That's a movie from Bosnia. It's supposed to be really great. That's on
Mhm.
Hulu now. If people want to check that out. And also Better Days, the Hong Kong movie that was nominated. It's probably the most popular movie that was nominated here. And also one of the oldest ones. But yeah, it's going to be another round. You can bet on that.
Yeah, seems pretty certain. The odds are 31-10, which is 3-1 pretty much. So definitely probably going to pull that one out. Best documentary feature. Um, My Octopus's Teacher, lock, would you say?
You know, 6 months ago, we knew a lot of high profile documentaries from 2020. My Octopus Teacher was not on that radar.
No.
And yet, it has won the Producers Guild Award, the ACE, and the BAFTA for this. The only other documentary wins have gone to movies that are not nominated at the Oscars. So, Octopus Teacher beating out what everyone thought was the favorite Time from
Mhm.
Amazon. So it seems like, yeah, it seems like it's a lock. You can watch that on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen two of the five. I saw Crip Camp and I watched Time recently. I think Crip Camp is should be the number two. I don't know my octopus teacher, so if I had to like pick a upset here, I would have wanted Crip Camp. But yeah, my octopus teacher seems like pretty much a lock. Animated feature. We don't need to spend time on this. It's Soul. Take it to the bank.
That's right. Soul has won Globe, PGA, Ace, BAFTA, and Annie, the animation lead award. So Soul has won everything, and no one else has won anything else. Wolf Walker's won a lot of other Annie awards. We always thought that was the number two, but it's been Soul from the jump. Once again, lock it in.
Yeah, Pixar crushing it. Looking at these technical categories, are there any that stand out to you as you know categories you're particularly interested in or paying attention to here?
Yeah, this always varies year to year, right? This is the first year sound mixing and sound editing is now under one roof. It's just best sound. And I actually enjoy the fact that we know who's winning this year. It's going to be Sound of Metal, a
Hmm.
movie that the sound design is so integral to the storytelling and also the nature of the story.
Hell yeah.
So it's cool to see that because usually best sound goes to what I think what 1917 won last year. Like it's usually just kind of more like the technical stuff to this, but it's not so much really big part of the story
Yeah.
in the
No,
case
I
of Sound of Metal. So that's cool to see.
yeah, I agree. And actually I think the probably the number two in this category is Soul, which is also another movie where the
Mhm.
sound feels so important to the storytelling and the experience.
Right.
But yeah, Sound of Metal's a lock for that one. But we're talking about Soul. I mean, that feels pretty much like a lock for best score as well, right?
That's right. I think it's basically been sweeping as well. Reznor and Atticus Ross. Yep. Another easy one.
Will my favorite movie of last year, Tenet, bring home a Oscar for best visual effects? You think?
Seems like it. Seems like the clear choice, right?
Yes.
It better. Respect Tenet, you fools.
Yeah, so good. All right, moving up, production design. Mank is the favorite. I think that should be a lock. Mank
Yeah,
is fucking
another one where
amazing.
it's like just intricate production design recreating what were we, the 20s, 30s,
Yeah,
Hollywood, California. Like, yeah,
insane.
you can't poke a hole in the main production design, so it's a just win, no question.
Yeah, I think about that scene where they're at like the dinner party and how much that really just parallels the scenesis in Kane with like the big fireplace, and it's
Totally.
so well done. Makeup and hairstyling. I mean, I feel like Ma Rainey probably running away with that one.
Yeah, yeah, it seems like it. I mean, Ma Rainey's character, Viola Davis, like that was really distinct makeup and hairstyling on the year. I think the only other thing I really think of was in Promising Young Woman. Same way, Carey Mulligan's character. There's a lot of notable makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah,
But yeah, it seems like it's Ma Rainey. Uh,
for that and costume design probably as
yeah,
well.
seems like it. Yep.
The first like technical category that seems like there might be a real race is best film editing. Sound of Metal and Trial of the Chicago Seven are kind of neck and neck there. Which
Right.
one are you leaning?
Yeah, that one I don't have a good feel on that one. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Sound of Metal of all films being kind of seen as the favorite if there is one there.
Mhm.
Um, Especially because the Ace win went to Chicago Seven. So I actually probably would lean Chicago Seven here, but tough to get a feel on this one. I think.
So as we're moving up the categories, I feel like this is a pretty important one right here, because usually the Best Picture nominees have at least a technical category that they win or
Yeah,
recognize for.
absolutely.
Cinematography seems like it's probably going to be Nomadland, which would be really important to that being the Best Picture case, which I think a lot of people are leaning towards that being Best Picture. Do you think they're a lock for that one?
I wouldn't say it's a lock, but I would lean that way. Again, like it's competing against something probably like Mank, another film
Mm.
with stark, noticeable cinematography, but Mank's not a top tier Best Picture contender. So yeah, that's a pickup you think Nomadland really needs to follow through on Best Picture. You remember like every year we talking about like the path for a film to win, like with Parasite, same thing. Like you talked about, you kind of need to win something early on to get have any confidence about taking home the last trophy at the end of the night. So yeah, I think Nomadland's, not to bury the lead, Nomadland's considered the overwhelming favorite at this point, just given how the award season
Mhm.
has panned out. But I still think you want to see this because Nomadland's probably a film that's gonna win one, if any, acting wins, and is unlikely to win for or not certain to win for screenplay as well. So it's like it would kind of be uncharacteristic for the Nomadland win to happen without some of this down ballot stuff. But not really certain about any of them, and I think it starts with cinematography.
Yeah, I think about the cinematography from Nomadland and like a movie like News of the World, which has these like really sweeping shots
Yeah,
of
vistas.
landscape. Yeah, and News of the World, I think what where it's so different is that's all about like that, you know, adventurous west, blazing the trail type thing. But Nomadland is very like claustrophobic at times, staying in these very small spaces in their vans, and then is so sweeping. And I think it really gives you that back and forth experience, which is why I think it probably will win this category. But like you said, I don't think it's necessarily a lock it in pick. We're moving on to the screenplays though, adapted and original. What do you got for each category? Where are you leaning?
Yeah, so this one's really fun. Adapted screenplay. As I said, this
Yeah.
is where Nomadland really wants to get a win here, but it's really hard to predict this one because adapted screenplay has been won by Borat subsequent movie film from the Writers Guild, Nomadland from the Critics' Choice Award, not really representative of the Academy, and then by The Father at the BAFTA, the father of British film, so inherent bias.
Hmm.
And don't forget that the Golden Globes only do a best screenplay win. They don't delineate, and that win went to Trial of the Chicago 7, which is going to be up in original screenplay.
Yep.
So adapt, it's hard to pin down. And I think part of the thing with the Writers Guild is not everyone gets nominated due to like the rules of the Writers Guild. Nomadland and Minari were not nominated for the Writers Guild Award. So we don't actually know what all the screenwriters think because they had limited thoughts, options, right?
Mhm.
So I would lean Nomadland just because it's the strongest film here, but there's definitely upset potential here.
Yeah, man, if Borat came out of this category, just chaos will ensue, I feel like.
And you think about it too, like the screenplay of Nomadland, it's not like the talkiest film. You know,
No.
this is a movie about feeling
Yeah.
and the vibes, as we
Mhm.
said, right? And even though it's not they're not happy vibes more often than not, it's still a lighter screenplay. Like
Yeah.
the reason things we'll be celebrating here again, the cinematography, the direction, Francis McDormand.
Mhm.
Maybe not so much the screenplay.
So we let's jump back to original screenplay. You already mentioned Trial of the Chicago 7, probably the second favorite in this category to Promising Young Woman.
Yeah.
I would love to see Minari get this though.
Yeah. Promising Young Woman, Writers Guild win, Critics win, BAFTA win, Chicago 7 Globe win. Minari has not won anything, wasn't WGA
Mhm.
eligible, but yeah, that'd be an awesome win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, ugh, I'd be so excited.
I'm gonna lean Promising Young Woman here. Just kind of feels like that's a movie that is not going to get much of anything else, and that's a good nod to it. And also, that's a movie what I think has a really smart screenplay, and
Mhm.
the screenplay of the movie is a big reason why it succeeds alongside Carey Mulligan's performance. So I think that's a good win. But I mean, Minari also, it's funny to think that we're largely picking against Aaron Sorkin, who usually is you're gonna
Darling. This
lock in for his
Yep.
writing, of course. So yeah, I mean, lean promising young woman here, but tough to pin down. And Minari would be quite the upset because again, it actually hasn't won any of the precursor awards.
Yeah, I don't see it winning, but if it does, it might mean that we actually have a race for Best Picture, which would be really interesting. Let's move on to Best Supporting Actor, though, because this one's pretty quick. Daniel Kaluuya has won at the Globes, SAG, BAFTA, Critics' Choice,
Yes,
pretty much everything. So
everything.
he's going to
All
win.
four.
Let's move on to Supporting Actress, where it's a little bit more all over the map, right? Um, Yu Jung Yoon from Minari is probably the favorite. SAG, BAFTA, um, but Maria Bakalova,
Mm-hmm.
right there would be a great
Yep.
win. Critics' Choice Award win. Could
Globe
we?
went to Jodie Foster, so throw that one out.
Yeah. So I mean, could we maybe see something here? Don't forget Olivia Colman, who is a Academy darling.
True.
Um, it's probably going to be Yu Jung Yoon, which is
Yeah,
would be pretty awesome.
it would be awesome. Someone who's had decades long career making films now getting belated recognition in the West for a role like this. A great role. She's an integral part to the movie, and it kind of feels like that's the way the wins have been going the past few weeks. So that's what I would pick.
Yeah, I think that's probably the safe pick for that category. All right, moving on to Best Actor. I mean, Chadwick. It's Chadwick and Ma Rainey for this one. He's got what the
Mhm.
Globes, Critics' Choice, SAG.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins won BAFTA.
Yes. The BAFTAs have a history with picking Brits and not picking black people, so
Hmm.
that explains that one. But Hopkins is great in The Father, well liked. I wouldn't be totally shocked if he did an upset. It just would still kind of feel like it's coming out of nowhere.
Would you be shocked by Riz?
Yes, I'd be
Yeah.
shocked by Riz Ahmed, no question.
this
Same thing with
this
Stephen Yun.
this category has so many great people in it. I mean, Chadwick, I would love the win. He's probably going to, but if Ahmed or Yoon win this,
Right.
Yun
I
win this,
I mean, you feel like
happy.
it's just posthumous recognition for Chadwick's career, but it's also a tremendous performance. On
Yeah.
the other hand, Ma Rainey notably was not nominated for Best Picture, despite everyone kind of throwing it in there all year long. The Father is nominated for Best Picture, so maybe that matters. I don't think it will. So yeah, I think it's going to be Chadwick, and everyone's going to be very happy and excited to celebrate him and his fortunately last chance for it.
Well, as we move on to probably the category that's most up in the air right now, will Ma Rainey bring home both Best Actor and Best Actress? Because Viola Davis is the number two in this category now in terms of odds. Carrie Mulligan being number one for Promising Young Woman, but Andra Day had that Globes win, got some momentum there. We had Frances McDormand, who I think she's won something,
She
right?
won the BAFTA.
Okay.
Mulligan won the critics. Viola Davis won SAG and was not nominated at BAFTAs. So no one has won more than once. Vanessa Kirby, also happy to be here. So really hard to pin down.
Yep.
I was leaning Carrie Mulligan for a while, and then it felt like it actually kind of feels like it's going Viola Davis. I've started to see people throw out Andra Day, kind of really surprised me just because it's a good performance, but The People versus Billie Holiday is a pretty middling movie, so I would hate to see it win, honestly. But yeah, I think it's Viola Davis versus Carey
Mulligan.
Mulligan, and I don't know which way to lean. This is, in past few years we've been able to lock in all four acting races well in advance, especially
Hmm.
last year. That is not the case this year. No one can be confident about Best Actress.
Yeah. Um,
Also, Frances McDormand, who's won
yeah.
before. Not that Viola Davis is also a darling, but Frances McDormand has a chance to win three Best Actresses, which would put her in esteemed company with Hepburn and Meryl Streep, I believe. And also, if Nomadland just cleans up and has a huge night, it'll be very easy to see McDormand also picking it up here. So you can't write
Totally.
her off.
Absolutely. All right, gun to head, or squirt gun to head. What are you choosing? Who are you choosing for this?
I'm
We'll
gonna
go with
pick.
Mulligan.
I'm gonna pick Davis.
Yeah.
SAG wins a big precursor there. The acting body is the biggest block of the Oscars, though not as big as it used to be, but still the biggest block. So that's my calculus there.
Would be awesome. She was great in that movie. Really transformed herself. Best director. I mean, Chloe Zhao has won everything,
Oh yeah, she's
dude.
also won all four. She has not lost. Best
Yeah.
director.
So
It's
this one's
a
wrapped up.
coronation. Lock it in.
Uh, yeah, and check out the Eternals, which should be coming out end of this year. So,
November.
uh, all right, and we're on to the last category, Best Picture. Yeah, Nomadland, overwhelming favorite here. Won pretty much everything. Minari, could it do the upset? I mean, Trial of the Chicago 7 got the SAG ensemble, I guess, but like, do we
Yeah.
really think that's going to win Best Picture? No.
Right. So I think it's funny to look at the precursors here because Nomadland is the overwhelming favorite, but Nomadland had notable like misses here. It was not eligible for the Writers Guild fine, but it was not nominated at SAG, let alone winning. It wasn't even nominated, which makes sense given the movie. It's truly a one actor film, two actor film, and then a bunch of non-professional actors. So I kind of understand. But Chicago 7 also won for editing at Ace. So you have Chicago 7 winning SAG and Ace, and you have Nomadland winning Critics, PGA, uh, BAFTA, Globe, and DGA. So yeah, it's not as like slam dunk as other years has been, but it still feels like it's pretty certain to be Nomadland. And like we said before, Minari hasn't actually won anything to this point, so it would kind of feel out of nowhere if it was to win. I
Hmm.
guess that would be a preferential ballot type result more than anything
Yeah.
else.
If you had to pick one win that you want to see, not one that you think is
Hmm.
going to happen, but one like an upset or something that you really want to happen, what are
Hmm.
you picking here?
Well, that's a good question. I thought that's too much. Man, because it's like, hmm,
I think I would probably like to see something like Amanda Seyfried for Mank would be like a
oh
huge
yeah,
upset. I would
that
love
that
that.
that's actually it. Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
like
That was a race I thought she was gonna lead, and she never won a blessed thing for the award. Uh,
yeah.
Still cracked the nominations. Yeah, that would be awesome. Uh, Best Picture, I guess, would probably be the choice
The
here,
hard
right?
part for me also. Oh, God,
I'd go Judas for Best Picture, but no chance.
man, that would be a moment. Oh shit, that'd be great. Yeah, I was gonna say I wish I could root for Riz or Stephen Yoon to take it home, but Chadwick losing at this point would
Yeah,
be sad too. So
and like I'd
tough
love
year.
to see Lakeith win, but I want Daniel Kaluuya win more, so can't go against that.
We're just gonna have to wait for Stephen Yun to win for his part in the new Jordan Peele movie. So
Yeah,
that,
good
that's
point.
okay. One more year or 2 more years. All right, Dave. That wraps it up for our Oscars predictions. Unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, I think that's it. I mean, ratings, they're going to be real low.
Yep.
All the other award show ratings have been low. Also, most live sports event, big events and championship games and stuff have also been real low. Um, the Oscars declining viewership is not just COVID, but I think the sharp drop is largely COVID. So we'll see how much award shows recover in the upcoming years. So that's a narrative that you're going to see parroted, but you know the reasons.
Watch them or just follow along on Twitter, however you get your news usually.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
also there's plenty of people that probably didn't watch these movies, so
yep,
yeah,
true.